walking down the street, meet the faces of the people I see. All the time I see our reflection. All the time I see our reflection. It's okay to feel alone. It's okay to be.
What song are you listening to?
Eye of the Tiger.
What song are you listening to?
It's Love Sick.
What song are you listening to?
It's a 3-day craze.
Happiness straight from the bottle.
What song are you listening to?
Underdog.
What song are you listening to?
Arctic Monkeys. Baby.
What song are you listening to?
I am machine.
What song are you listening to?
If I had you.
Can you talk about the last concert you went to?
Sure, I went to a concert 2 years ago, and this is definitely an experience I will never forget. They came to Kiev with a concert, and my brother offered me to go there. You know, I am quite a reserved person, and going to this concert was a culture shock for me. Everybody was yelling and chanting the lyrics at the top of their lungs. But I should confess, I was awestruck by the performance that the band delivered. I was really impressed by the interaction they had with the audience. Yeah, they were incredible.
Well, I'm so above you in its plain.
Can you talk about the last concert you went to?
I saw a band called Dark Daughters last autumn. The show was in a small venue and I didn't know many of their songs. Despite that, it was awesome. It was over 2 hours. Seeing the crowd all excited together, singing, dancing, jumping, everything was amazing. You see, I've been to some concerts that were just fun, but the atmosphere at this one was like no other.
About the last concert you went to?
Let me think. Oh well, last month I went to the National Opera House of Ukraine with my family. We listened to the opera called Natalka Poltavka. I'm not very keen on opera and frankly speaking, I thought it would be rather boring. However, I was totally enthralled with that experience. Everything was just magical, sound, emotion, atmosphere. I enjoyed it immensely.
Can you talk about the last concert you went to?
Last concert? Actually, I haven't been to any concert yet. But last summer I was in Bulgaria and used to dine in the restaurant with live music. Some of the young singers and musicians performed there. Unfortunately, I don't know their names, but I should say they were really talented.
Can you talk about the last concert you went to?
Oh, yes. Last week I went to the concert of Potap at Nastya Kamensky. I'm not a music snob. I try to like everything, or at least give it a chance. However, when my friend bought us tickets to see Potap and Nastya Kamensky, I was not enthused.
What is your favorite Ukrainian band?
Okanedze, of course.
What is your favorite Ukrainian band?
Boombox probably. They have touching lyrics and catchy vocals.
Okay, thank you. What is your favorite Ukrainian band?
That's Dimna Sumish. Unfortunately, they split up years ago, but many people still listen to their songs.
Okay, thank you. Your favorite Ukrainian band?
Танок на Майдані Конго. I really like the way they combine hip-hop, funk and pop music.
What is your favorite Ukrainian band?
Okanedze, they are amazing.
Thank you. What is your favorite Ukrainian band?
My favorite Ukrainian band? Let me see. I guess it is Kraken. They have got some catchy songs.
Good afternoon. Today we are here to show our foreign friend Nick how to cook Ukrainian national dish borscht. He has arrived from Edinburgh and asked us to share our secret with him.
Hello guys. You know, I'm from Scotland and I need your help. And fact is, best dish in whole world is our national culinary, of course. But one day I tasted a dish which named Ukrainian borscht, and really, I fell in love with it. So actually, I bet to come back home and just surprise my family.
Don't worry, Nick. We will tell you what you need for the traditional Ukrainian borscht.
Oh, so good.
In Ukraine we have different types of recipes, and I'm from Kiev and my family have special recipe. So we need
Oh.
cabbage, beetroot, carrot, onion and an apple.
Oh, even apples.
And beef, pepper and tomato.
Oh, tomatoes, of course.
You know, Nick, I have a better recipe. I am from Poltava, and in our region, in traditional borscht, we should add halushka.
What's halushka? What is it?
Halushka, it is a boiled piece of dough.
Oh. And it's tasty?
Yes, it is really tasty.
Wow.
Listen, I recommend you to add brown mushrooms. It is very popular in Lviv where I was born.
Oh, not bad, I guess.
Oh, it's time to see how is our borscht doing. Kate, can you help me? Okay. Nick, do you know when do we celebrate Christmas in Ukraine?
I guess it's 7th of January, yeah?
Yes, you're right. And do you know that on Christmas we should have 12 meatless dishes?
No, very interesting.
Yes, it is our tradition. For example, halushki, вареники, kutya, uзвар and asks.
What a variety of food. In our country we have only a turkey or a goose, something like that, you know. Oh, what is it?
It's Ukrainian bread called pampushka.
Smells good. Delicious, yeah.
Enjoy your food. What makes Ukraine famous in the world?
No doubt, it's revolution of dignity.
What makes Ukraine famous in the world?
Well, I think Ukraine is famous for its science and scientists.
What makes Ukraine famous in the world?
I think Ukrainian musicians and music.
What makes Ukraine famous in the world?
I think it's Ukrainian diaspora. Yeah, you know, Ukrainian diaspora is a global community of ethnic Ukrainians who spread all around the world, and there are more than 20 million.
What makes Ukraine famous in the world?
Of course, it's Ukrainian sportsmen like Virastuk, Klitschko and Shevchenko.
What makes Ukraine famous in the world?
Of course, singers.
What makes Ukraine famous in the world?
To my mind, is monument of architecture.
Why did the revolution of dignity make Ukraine famous?
Well, our revolution has shown the great ability of Ukrainians to self-organize. The Ukrainian nation will never be the same after revolution. Also, I'd like to stress that Ukrainian will not turn from the path of upholding European values, freedom and dignity, for which Ukrainian people paid an incredibly high price.
What role did Ukrainian scientists play in the world science?
Ukrainians made a great contribution in world science. I'm sure that everybody in Europe knows that the first computer on the continent was designed by Sergei Lebedev. No doubt that it's well known that the first man in space, Yuri Gagarin, was launched by a team led by Sergei Korolev.
What Ukrainian diaspora's representatives do you know?
There are lots of famous actors and actresses who were born in Ukraine, such as Olga Kurilenko. It's Ukrainian-born actress, also known as a Bond girl. And of course our Queen of the Ice, Oksana Bayul, who achieved the Olympic gold medal in ladies figure skating.
What impressed you the most?
I like traveling very much. I traveled a lot, not only in Ukraine, but abroad too. 2 years ago, I and my family moved to the Kiev, and I was impressed by the magnificence of Sophia's cathedral. It was built in 1037 and it's the oldest in Kiev. Unfortunately, now historians hold for the cathedral survival, and it is the World Heritage Site.
What role did they play in the world music?
I'm not a musician, but I like music, and especially opera music. I adore Solomia Krushelnitska. I think she is a Ukrainian finest opera singer, and she's known as a world class. She spoke 7 languages, including English, and knew full lyrics to some 50 operas. She performed at La Scala in Milan. She also traveled south throughout Europe, Egypt, North and South America. She sang with the famous Italian tenor Enrico Caruso, but her most significant contribution to the world of opera and came with her role in the opera Madame Butterfly.
What role did they play in the promoting Ukrainian music in the world?
No wonder there are many musicians from Ukraine. I was told that about 40% of well-known musicians are Ukrainians. By the way, Shedrik is a Ukrainian Shedrivka or New Year carol, also Carol of the Bells, which is famous all over the world, is actually Ukrainian folk music.
Who inspired personally you?
Oh, I look up Volodymyr Klitschko starting as a child. When I discovered him, I decided to start doing box, and it became a great hobby until now.
Who inspires you?
I'm very impressed by Shevchenko's poems. His poems inspired me to feel Ukrainian national pride and to be proud of my country.
Who inspired personally you?
Oh well, I really admire Igor Sikorsky. He was a genius. He invented the first airliner, Ilya Muromets, and the first viable helicopter in the world.
Who inspired personally you?
I'm a young pianist, that's why I'd like to say about Ukrainian musicians, classical musicians. I think everyone knows Volodymyr Horovets, who was the legendary of Ukrainian music. And Maxim Berezovsky, Dmitro Bortnyansky, Artem Vedelь, and also Mykola Lysenko, who was the father of Ukrainian music. They influenced on my musical tastes and my formation as a musician.
The day of Ukrainian flag. The day of dignity and freedom.
Defenders of Ukraine Day.
It's a victory day.
Oh, as for me, it's the Kiev Day.
The Independence Day.
Oh, the Vyshyvanka Day maybe.
Ukrainian flag is one of the most important symbols of Ukrainian independence. The day of Ukrainian flag is celebrated on 23rd of August every year.
I think it's the most important day of our Ukrainian history. It's celebrated on the 21st of November. This day, all Ukrainians commemorate the second anniversary of Revolution of Dignity. In late November, the Ukrainian government's decision not to sign association with the European Union became the root cause of the largest protest in the history of our state. At first, it was named they were named Maidan. Next Euromaidan, and later the Revolution of Dignity. Today, the Day of Revolution of Dignity is celebrated under the slogan "Only free people can create future."
I think we need the Defenders of Ukraine Day because it's a new national patriotic holiday. As you know, it replaced the former Day of Fatherland, which was of Soviet origin. This holiday is for honoring courage and heroism of the defenders of the independence of Ukraine. I think it's very important that this holiday is marked on the 14th of October. The Ukrainians call the holiday of Pokrova.
Yeah, it's a great holiday and it's usually a day off in Ukraine. It was celebrated on the 9th of May, but this year everything was different. I can definitely say that this year on the 8th of May for the first time, the people of Ukraine joined a European tradition to commemorate the victims of the Second World War and celebrated a newly established day of remembrance and reconciliation. Moreover, the poppy has become a new symbol of the 70th anniversary of the Allied victory over Nazi Germany, and it's celebrated in Ukraine on the 9th of May.
I think the Day of Kiev is really important. Kiev is surely the main place for all the Ukrainians. Ukrainian history starts right from here. The first set of laws was made in Kiev. Kiev was and still remains the religious and cultural center of our country. Being the Kiev citizen is the proud thing, and that we love to celebrate this holiday everywhere. I think the Independence Day is the most patriotic holiday. It commemorates the long and hard struggle of Ukrainian people for their freedom and independence. Owing to this holiday, we don't forget that Ukraine became independent on 21st of August 1991 when the Verkhovna Rada adopted a declaration of Ukrainian independence.
Yes, I think so. Nobody could deny that since ancient time Ukrainian vyshyvanka had been the main symbol of our culture. People always believed that the embroidery on vyshyvanka used as a talisman to protect people wearing it. And personally, I believe that the vyshyvanka showed the spirit and beauty of our culture.
As for me, all the citizens should know the importance of Ukrainian flag. Adults should take their hats off when national colors are presented. And of course, parents should teach their children how to give flag respect which it deserves.
As for me, the Day of Dignity means that in our Ukrainian history there are lots of people who can sacrifice their lives under the name of the better future. And as for my position in the celebration, I will go to center of Kiev and as every year to remember the events of Revolution of Dignity.
I am proud that now Ukraine has its own festival dedicated to the heroes who are fighting with enemies. As for me, it was established to say thank you. I think that it's good for us to know that we have an army and we can and we must defend our borders and our country. I believe that this holiday will raise the patriotic spirit of Ukrainians.
Frankly speaking, I entered this holiday with thanksgiving in my heart, because this great day we commemorate those who lost their lives for our future during the war. This year, Ukraine flags hung on streets poles. Soldiers sauntered down the streets in full dress uniform covered in medals. Other people wore red and black poppies on their lapels. Personally, I laid flowers at the eternal flame and honored the memory of soldiers who died in this war. In the evening, this holiday ended with the celebratory fireworks.
We usually celebrate the Day of Kiev in the last weekend of May, and my family and I are very proud of our native city and usually celebrate it date too. We also like to take part in the chestnut run, launch some kites, attend the concert in the center of Kiev, and of course have some delicious dishes.
As for me, Ukraine is an independent state. That's why I usually celebrate the Independence Day. Because there is a spirit of unity in my country. It inspires the love of our language and culture. When I'm traveling, I begin love my country. I think that a lot of young people feel the same.
I would like to add that while celebrating Independence Day, there are many concerts and military parades. If you have any possibility to visit the performance of military orchestra, that is quite interesting. There are also held different concerts and the celebration usually ends with festive fireworks. It is incredible.
Every year on the 21st of May, I usually wear the vyshyvanka to show their unity and identity and to show my patriotism. And this year my friends asked me to take part in all Ukrainian campaign Give Vyshyvanka to Defender. I agreed at once, and that is really important for the defender to inspire them on the victory.